Got it. Preparing live stream. Okay. Hey everybody, how you doing? Today's a beautiful day in Chicagoland, and it is so sunny and beautiful out. What a great day to start the weekend. I say the weekend, okay, but it'll come fast. We're excited today. We got some great stuff to talk about. We've got a great guest here today. Laura, how you doing?
I am doing wonderful. I heard it's supposed to go up in this. Oh, it's 82 for my.
it's
can't believe
it's under 60 here.
And you know what? I'm excited. It's sunny. I feel like we're finally going forward with this weather. But I'm so excited to bring on a friend of ours we went to school with, and wonderful guy. We've had him on here a couple times talking about different things. But I am going to hand it over to my friend Brett Reese, and Debbie's friend too. And he's going to talk to us. We had him on when he was at the beginning stages of it. So, Brett, how are you today?
I'm great. Thanks for having me on. It's always fun to talk, and it's certainly better than being in a courtroom. So this is standing. Talk to us. I was on before a little over a year ago, maybe even longer. In the initial phase, we were just starting out, and we had a number of devs, which is short for developers, and we've cycled through a few. But we've obtained a core group of people that are doing well. It's surprising to me how long it's taken. There's issues that you think, well, you can go to the internet and there's website building platforms and it's easy. You click, cut and paste, click here. It's much more complicated than that and time consuming. You deal with a lot of issues regarding with the big term of art now in the tech world, and even bigger than that, business is scaling. Everyone wants to know, how does it scale? Can it grow? Do you have the finances to have it grow? Do you have the manpower to have it grow? Do you have in terms of tech, do you have the data, the storage and the capabilities to manage the data? And in order to do that, because of course we want Talk to Us, which I didn't say, it's a content-driven social media site. It is a place where you can go and talk about anything you want to talk about, as long as it's legal. My developers are developers, and they're shareholders as well. So when I say they're not my subordinates; they're partners in effect. All of them are very they're all Christians, and so it's sort of weird because I'm certainly have behaved in unchristian-like ways in my life, but not recently as much. And so here's how Christian they are. We end our meetings with prayers, but because of that. We're very concerned about being hijacked by sexting and pornography and those things. And it's just certain sites, social media sites, have been released, like Omegle, Chattiest. They're hugely popular. And then they got just hijacked by sexting and it just destroyed them. They lose their user base. So other than that, everything goes. So if you want to talk about cooking, you want to talk about fishing, you want to talk about tax returns, football, anything, you put it in there. And if there's someone there who wants to talk about it, you'll be guided to that room. And if there's not, then you'll get notified when someone is in there, and you click, and it's a small group, 5 people are in a room, and you just get to discuss the topic. There's a lot of new things coming down. Right now, you can upload photos. You can upload links or tie in links. Eventually, we're going to we've actually had it for a while, but it's a huge data muncher, as they say. Chyrons with related news. So whatever you're talking about, it's scraping the web and bringing up news stories consistent with what we were talking about. They're ticker, like a ticker tape. It's going by, a Chiron, it's called. And then eventually we're going to have profiles, and the profiles are going to be a bit different in that it'll be a room, an actual room. It'll look like a bedroom or a lounge or a living room, and it'll have not as much a list of your ideas, but the movies you like will have half sheets. The books you like will be on a shelf. The sporting events, could be a hockey jersey thrown over a chair. So it'll be a very visual. We're very much working to make it something just entirely unique, novel, meaning new. We've got some great innovations. We have a this is so funny that I'm excited about this, but I'm really excited about this. We have emojis and responses or reactions, emotions. And when you generally pick emojis, you click on the emoji and then it gives you the sort of a chart of all the ones, or you can cursor through left to right. Well, one of our developers developed something that's just fantastic. You click on the emoji and what you get is an array of emotions. You get happy, sad, excited, fearful. There's, I think, 5 core emotions that all other emotions flow from. And as you swipe outside of that, or cursor outside of that, if you're a desktop, those emotions break down. So happy could be joy, triumph, those types of things. But you're just moving out and you're seeing the more options. And then if you would cycle around the head emotion, you just switch from the emotions, kind of like fans. So you're not clicking as much as you're swiping or just moving your cursor, hovering. And it makes it so easy, so quick to put a specific emotion or emoji out there, that type of thing. So and that was really the big theme. And we've debated this forever. Who are we? What do we do? Because we have a marketing guy now who's very good, and he's a marketing specialist, and he's a shareholder as well. By the way, it was Hadley, our one. We have 5 people involved right now. One female. She was the one who developed the emoji thing, so I'm very proud of her. It's my daughter too, but it's not nepotism. It's not nepotism at all. She wishes there was some nepotism, but I'm harder on her than anybody, and she's harder on me. But anyway, what we're trying to do is make it a place where people go for a positive experience, where it's not what we call Facebook and those sort of drive-by social media. Hey, look what I had for dinner. Look how good it is. Look how great my husband is. Or look where I'm vacationing. And here am I. You look at the spot I'm in. I'm better than you. And aren't you jealous? It's not that at all. We want it to be more along the lines of, say, Cheers, in the series Cheers, a place you go to make legitimate friends and legitimately socialize in real time. And just where it's a good experience, where if someone says, what'd you do last night? Oh, I was on Talk Desk. It doesn't have a negative connotation, where it's almost like, well, that's better than the corner bar, or and that. So we really want it to be I would use the term virtuous, but just a true positive social experience, with the collateral benefits being that you can gain great knowledge, learn about whatever you want, talk about whatever you want, and hopefully bring the world to get to the goal is, of course, to allow the world to talk and connect people by their interests. So we're excited. It's taking longer than I anticipated, but most of us have full-time jobs. And then in terms of scaling, that's been a big issue. And in terms of, and the younger developers, the 20-somethings are a different breed. They're not like us. Words like deadline are really offensive. They don't like that word. I should say they don't like that word, but it's a much more complicated word than, from my perspective, my deadline is like, here's what I want. When is it going to be done? Theirs is, you have to articulately define what you want done by that deadline, so that the developers can understand what it is they need to do to satisfy your deadline, which, by the way, we're not really fond of that word. That should be a goal or something. So it's a little different. They're right, actually, in terms of performance, because they are the ones who do the coding and the development. But it does sort of contradict sort of the traditional business sense. It's not the type of logic or wording you would use on a construction site. It's not just get it done. So we battle that one out quite a bit. I just want sort of a simple answer, and they explained to me why it's more complicated than that. So that's been a pretty interesting learning experience for me. And it's interesting because I sort of want to default to, I'm the guy providing most of the financing. You just do it my way. That's sort of my default position, but I don't default there. I listen to these people, because without them, I'd be lost, and we wouldn't have anything. And it's also, it's not even though I may be ultimately right, it just may be a basic principle. Just figure out what you want to do, get it done. They're a more complex application of just get it done, meet the deadline. it's the one that's understood by their people, that age bracket more, and so it's more effective. But it's an effective balance. My number one shareholder, his name's Arthur Weborg. He and I are like total opposites. He's very detail oriented. He is very concerned. He thinks everything in terms of a matrix and what this and implications. And I'm more simple in general. And it's a great business marriage. As one of the other shareholders said, if you agreed on everything, we wouldn't need one of you. And that was a good point. And what he's good at, I'm bad at. What I'm good at, he's bad at. So, and we recognize that. So it's been a real fun process. Sure, I'd like it to go better. And there's huge money in a successful social media platform. If it goes viral, if you get the users, it's more money than I ever anticipated making. But more than that, we're really hoping to provide a valid product to the market, an alternative that is healthier emotionally, psychologically, morally than other sites. So that's the thumbnail sketch of more than an elevator pitch, not a novel, of Talk Dust.
Okay, so I have a question. You did really good. That was great. How do I, a person, get on Talk Dust?
You go to talkdust.com and you'll hit a sign up page and you sign up. And right now there are users. We don't have a tremendous amount of users. We're beginning a marketing campaign, but when you put it on and you just sign up and it's just your name, it doesn't have to be your name, your handle and your email address. And we don't harvest, you won't get ads based on giving the email address. We don't harvest identities. That's a big push of ours too, is we're not selling individual data. We certainly, that will be a revenue source, is to sell general data, what people are talking about, and our advertising, when we bring advertisers in, be very tightly linked to whatever people are talking about. That's one of our advantages, is that because conversations are so specific and titled with this is what they're talking about, we'll be able to connect. The synergy between advertisers and target market will be superior to anybody else. And we're counting on a much higher click rate and click-through rate than other sites. But that's it. You just go to talkdust.com, sign up, and be patient. As our users grow, we'll hit that critical mass. And you'll get, right now, if you're on Android, you'll get notifications. We're waiting for Apple to do some software updates. And when they do, there'll be notifications. If you want them, you can control notifications so you don't get a million notifications. You can govern to the extent you want notifications. So if no one's talking about your subject and you go in, you open a room or go to a room, when someone else goes to that subject, you'll get a notification and the conversation. You can start the conversation. The goal, of course, is to have so many people talking that there's always a live conversation about most everything.
Yeah, I saw the rooms. It was really interesting. I just didn't know how far you could go. I've been signed up a long time ago, but I haven't really used it. So it's like, so I could right now go on there and start a conversation, and then I'll go to a room. And then, like you said, when somebody comes in that is interested in that conversation, you will notify me, correct?
You'll get notified if you're on an Android. If you're on an iPhone, you won't, right?
Okay, I'm on iPhone.
And my head developer says I can do a workaround and notify that, but it has implications and it's lousy coding and it's cheap and sort of low-class coding. So he says, just wait, Apple's going to have their upgrade done really soon. We'll be fine. And of course, I'm thinking, just do it, just make it work, and just being deferential. But yeah, you when you go to a room, you'll pick the subject. You can click on a room or put a new room. You could put, for example, Downers Grove North in there, and it'll open a room, and you'll be the only one. And if anyone else comes and says, "Hey, I want to talk about Downers Grove North," they'll be directed to that room, and you'll get a notification that somebody's talking about Downers Grove North.
Okay, like, so say I go in there and I want to get family together, and you were talking about the room that we're going to be able to set up our room with.
Sure.
Sounds so funny. Could you do like a little reunion of people in a room, or no?
Sure.
You can do it by people.
Yeah, it could be your sort of your group text. in that way. So if ever you go in that room, your 5 family members everyone would get notifications. Hey, Lori's in the room. Like we were always saying like Lori's in the kitchen. You know, it's sort of like a kitchen conversation in the morning, and they would get notification and they could come in. And we're discussing. We want the UI UX user interface user experience to be such that it really is fun to go, and that goes to emojis and the ease of uploading and showing pictures. Our goal is, and certainly we can do it. We have some phenomenal tech people, the developers. We really intend to make it better than anybody else, any other option out there.
Yeah, well, I thought of this, Debbie, and I know you would be interested. People that have home businesses, would they be able to set something up in your thing with the room?
Yeah. Like so if they came in, they'd get notification. Yeah, we've had that discussion. You know, put your company on there. If someone goes in looking for it, if you do a Google search, Talk to Us will pop up as a place related to that subject. They could go to Talk to Us. Talk to Us, then would immediately notification would go out to the business, and then they could put a salesman or a consultant or whatever it might be in that room to have that live stream discussion or respond later. We originally we were very Snapchat-ish, where we were going to delete your message would not, when you left, your messaging would leave, but people weren't connecting. So we've extended that. So your post stays there almost indefinitely, but we've got the way we're doing it is we get more and more users, that the longevity of a post will decrease and decrease and decrease. As we get more and more live users, there'll be less need to have the post there because you won't need them to respond to. But in terms of family, that's something we've planned for, anticipate where families will use it. We don't have private rooms yet. That's down the pike. Video, that's also something that is on the horizon. Videos with TikTok, video is just absolutely huge. The younger people especially are using it, and Instagram photos. So video is important, but we just want it to be the best place to go and talk. And we want people to have the feeling that it's not a waste of time. It's just a good conversation with friends or acquaintances or people with similar interests.
I love it. I really do.
I do too.
And the thing is, it would be great to, start at the bottom when it's just starting, so you could grow as like Debbie and I could get on there and we could grow and learn, and it's 2 different things, and we could get people on there. I could see this being a fantastic site. I really can. So, I mean, I see how much you've developed since I signed up a year or 2 ago. So it's great. Deb, you have any other questions?
I can't think of anything else. And the only thing I would probably say is like, how many people can go into a room? What was the maximum amount that you had at one point? At present, 5. Okay. Yeah.
There's also a spectator feature. So you can watch what people are speaking about. And then there's a feature, I don't think it's spun up yet, but the spectators will be able to comment. So you can have your initial, which really means they're in the room in a way, but you'll have your core conversation, and then there'll be the spectators that aren't in the room, but they will actually be able to comment or set fireworks up or whatever, or criticize, almost as if the conversation becomes a spectator event. And we're not quite sure how we employ that. And then that gets into scaling and data and processing and speeds and things like that in order to do that. It's the big cost is data storage.
Yeah.
That is the big cost. It's the development is, you get it done, it's done, and it's kind of a fixed cost. And the more users you get, it gets divided by more users. But storage is that's where your big cost is.
Okay, but it's free for anybody to join, correct?
Oh, we'll always be free. We will always be free. I just don't anticipate needing any fee basis whatsoever.
Yeah. Now, could you say basically anything you want to say, and you're not going to be like censored or anything like that?
As long as it's not pornography,
Yeah.
Blatant sexting, or just obviously illegal, you would hopefully would not be able to plan an assassination on Talk Dust. Something like that. Right now we're curated by algorithms, but the reality is when you get to a certain point, you need human curators to monitor that. And what happens, the algorithms pick up the buzzwords, and then it goes to a human who curates and says, like, okay, they're talking about an assassination. They're not planning one, or or their defense lawyers talking about child pornography. It's not child pornography. It's a big concern in terms of being discovered as a place to go for sex offenders and deviants, and that has hurt a lot of sites.
Mm-hmm. Now, would you say that you do not have any children on there? Is like an age thing? Is it like 20?
We have an age. We have an age. There's no way to enforce it. So we have mixed feelings about that. Certainly, as a parent, I don't like to see my children in front of screens all the time, and they're not. Well, at least when I'm around, they're not. But at the same token, to the extent we accomplish what we intend to accomplish, and it is a place that's a legitimately good conversation, it may not be the worst place for children, for young. And when I say children, I mean teenagers, and that it may not be the worst. And then throw in the mix AI, which is Arthur, my partner. He's really into AI. He's very excited about it. He's not intimidated by it, and he sees that just as a great tool to curate on many levels: curation, synergy between advertisers, target markets, analysis, data analysis, that type of stuff. So when the AI occurs, it's possible we can use it to even steer younger folks into more productive conversations and away from shallow, meaningless, hurtful conversations.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's great. That's absolutely great.
That's awesome. Yeah.
And you know what? And so audience, I'm going to put all of Brett's information on as far as how you can get a hold of it, links and everything. I didn't get a chance to do that today, but I'm going to do that when I get off the Zoom here. So if anybody has any questions, you can contact and send us a message, and we can forward it over to Brett. So,
well, they just go on Talk to Us and go into the Talk to Us room. They can post questions, and we see them.
Okay, all right, sounds good.
That's awesome.
Anything else here? I just am excited. I hope everybody goes on there, see what it's all about, tell your friends and family, and let's start talk dusting. How's that sound?
That sounds great.
That sounds great. Yeah.
Fantastic. Thank you.
So dusting, I talk.
I like it. Yeah, it's cute.
So
awesome.
With that, Deb, you want to close us out? And
absolutely, Brett. Thank you for spending time with us. I know you're busy, and we're excited. We're glad that we were able to get this information out. It's going to be all over. We'll get it to our old high school, our school, and anybody else. We're putting it on our YouTube site. We'll be on the Health and Wellness of You, and we look forward to talking some more, getting updates from you. Maybe in another month or two, so that you can give us updates and stuff. And so, enjoy this weekend. Enjoy this week, going into the weekend.
I don't know what's here, Debbie, but yesterday I thought it was Friday. I don't know what was in my head.
I know.
Weekend's coming. I don't know.
I know. I think we live for the weekend and we live for the great weather. Now that it's coming, it's like, I can't wait,
Yeah.
So anyways, but thank you again. Thank you so much. And thank you everybody for tuning in, and we will be seeing you guys soon. Thanks so much.
Okay.
Take care. Bye-bye.